Hey gamblers, Gambling Kiwi, welcome back to the whiteboard. We are going into NRL Round 26. Before we do that, let's just recap Round 25 real quick. We did notice the women's odds for the NRLW are out today. It's a day earlier than usual, so we thought we can do our video a day earlier than usual too, Last week we started with a hiss and a bang. The Sharks getting our head-to-head and Nico scoring his 8 points. We were on the wrong side of a bit of bad luck here. Our bonus bet didn't come through there with the Eels. The Roosters over cash for us. The Storm we missed out on by about 2 points, was it? Doesn't matter how many. It was a loss. That never happened. Let's pretend that never happened. Newcastle did cash for us though. The Golden Knights. And the Raiders, we missed out by 1 point there. So, although it was a loss, if you don't count that, it was about a 0.1 of a loss, I believe. Which, you shouldn't count that, because that's a bonus bet. I already lost that money 3 weeks ago. So, all in all, not too bad of a week. I do feel we're extremely unlucky on all three occasions. I feel we were a bit unlucky there, and if the storms of luck had blown our way, we might have got a perfect week on our bets again. That was not the case. The Dragons just, I don't know where those Dragons came from. They just turned up so strong and they played their hearts out, man. Well done to them. Unfortunately, they didn't get the win. The Eagles, the rules are the rules. It is what it is. And the Raiders, that's my fault. If you went 13 plus on the Raiders, you get what you deserved. Okay. The women, we didn't do any better. As a matter of fact, we did a lot worse. We missed every single bet we placed on the girls. We were down 2.5 units. Luckily for us, Big Mealy came in with a try. I couldn't believe last week she was paying $1.90. This week, or last week now, she was paying $2.40. So she cashed that and we ended up coming back. So we only lost out by 0.1 unit again. Luckily, we got a flawless win on the UFC. Helped us out. Came out with the goods. Enough rambling, enough gibberish. Let's get on to it. Round 26. That's what we're here for. First game up is the Panthers versus the Eels. It is the Eels' last game of the season. They do have a bye next week, so this is their grand final. This is it for them. They have to be all in. Alright? They're still shot to bits. Brian Tahoe is back for the Panthers. They do have one in here for the Eels. But they're still shot to bits. They're still missing a bunch of players. The Panthers have won 33 out of 36 games at Bluebet Stadium since, who cares? The last 33 out of 36 games they've won. That's a phenomenal stat. They are rock solid at home. Almost impossible to beat. What's the win percent on that? Who's good at maths? The Eels have won 3 of the last 5 games against the Panthers. So they do actually have history on their side. Although I imagine if you go back to 6, it's 3 each. I feel they kind of bent that stat to favour themselves. The Eels have conceded 35 points in their last 7 games. Panthers 13 plus at $1.40? I don't know. I mean, that probably is a safe bet, but after what happened to me last week, I just can't bring myself to put a 13 plus bet on. Maybe never again. That was... Man, but yeah, there might be a good bet. Although, Eels, like I said, this is their grand final. It is their last game of the season. Paying $7 head-to-head. Could be worth a punt. No bet from me this round. Panthers will be the tip. No bet. But, yeah, look for the Eels to make it a game for as long as they can. Panthers will probably run away with it in the last 15-10 minutes. Next up, we do have the Warriors versus the Dragons. If the Warriors win, they're in the top 4. If the Dragons win, they avoid the wooden spoon. Earlier in the season, Warriors absolutely thumped them. They're playing the same 17. Dragons, almost the same 17. Zach Lomax is back for them, though. That's an up for them. Last week, the Warriors did struggle against the Eagles, and the Dragons pushed the Storm to the limit. So, this game could be a lot closer than people may initially think. And the Dragons are paying a healthy $5.50 down there head-to-head. The Warriors are aiming for 7 wins in a row. They haven't done that for a long time. However, the Dragons have lost all 11 away games this season. Every game they've lost. That's just shocking. Doesn't bode well for them. Although last week I thought the Warriors were a bit of a landmine game. I felt a lot of people were going to bet on them, and the Warriors would lose and ruin their parlays, all that sort of stuff. I still can't quite shake that feeling yet. I don't know what it is. Is it just because I can't believe they're in the top 4? I can't believe how good they're going. I'm just waiting for something to happen, and there's the Warriors I know and love. But I can't bring myself to shake that feeling. I can't bet on them. We do have the Dragons winger. He has scored 11 tries in the past 7 games. Although I think that has a lot to do with him scoring 4 tries in one game not long ago. Who was that against the Raiders, I believe? So we did put a bet on him. He was paying $2. So we have got that down as a bet. Shaun Johnson, however, is playing his 250th NRL game. So look for all the boys to pick up. And, it's party time for the boys, They're going to go super hard for Johnson. We do have the Dragons at a 21.5 point start at $1.55. So these are our 2 bets. Although, the more I think about Shaun Johnson's 250th game, maybe they're going to beat the Dragons by, who knows. Warriors will be the tip. Dragons are the bet. Let's move on. Next up we do have the Dolphins. They've only won 1 out of the last 10 games. They are playing the Cowboys, who have had 3 losses in a row. And they do play the Panthers next week. So if they want to make that top 8, go. They have to go now. They can't afford to wait till next week. I think they've probably got to win both games, to be honest. There's a lot of ins here for the Dolphins, and a couple outs here for the Cowboys. So that balances things up for the Dolphins a little bit here. They do have 2 Cowboys, which is that's a bit I wonder how often that happens. 2 of the Cowboys will be playing their 200th game. Phenomenal. And that's basically it. That's all we really got to go on. Just because it is such a do-or-die game for the Cowboys, the head-to-head at $1.30, we have taken them. Well, as a matter of fact, we took this one, and we parlayed it with this one. So that's our Friday night parlay. We will be taking the Cowboys head-to-head and the Dragons with a 21-point head start. I'm getting worried now. Though I know it's Shaun Johnson's 250th. I'm scared. And it's at the Warriors' home ground. Oh man, we may have made a mistake. Buyer's regret. But this one, solid. Cowboys $1.30, probably one of the better bets of the round, to be honest. If you want to go for that big cash in. Next up, we do have the Storm versus the Titans. Not much to say here. The Storm, they edged out the Dragons there. Titans got pampered, but every team's been getting pampered, so there's not much to say there. The Titans did get a 38-34 victory over the Storm last time they played earlier this year, so there is that. That's a big tick for the Titans. Probably give some confidence for them in there. They've got a big, healthy $6.50 price tag on them. However, Storm will be the pick. Cowboys obviously my pick here. And we have them in our Saturday parlay. And that's all I really got to say about this game. Next up, we've got the Roosters. They're playing the Tigers. There we go. Let's go over it. Tigers broke their 10-game losing streak with a win over the Dolphins. Just by default, someone had to win. Roosters, on the other hand, eliminated the Eels with a dominating 34-12 victory. Roosters have won 20 of their past 22 games against the Tigers and have outscored them 112-12 in their past 2 games. 112-12 the last 2 games. Oh my god. That's 50-6 average. They got Will Smith as the new number 7. What happened to Wakeman? Why isn't Wakeman there? I don't know what's going on. They've got a couple outs. Sam Walker is back in their number 7, so they both got, I don't want to say new number 7s, but you know what I mean. They both got new number 7s. The big boy's back. Jared's back. James Tedesco is out. That's a big out for the Roosters. And they have lost 3 of their past 4 games when Tedesco has been out. However, no one seems to care. The odds are still heavily stacked in the Roosters' favour. And they are also parlayed. Obviously, the tip. And we have them parlayed head-to-head there with the Storm. And the Broncos. That is our Saturday parlay. The 3 favourites, line them up, knock them down, eh? So obviously Broncos our tip here. After what happened to the Raiders last week, right? Oh, well actually Raiders beat the Dogs last week. The week before that, the Storm actually killed them. So, I'm looking for the Broncos to do a similar thing here. I mean, it won't be as good as that, obviously. The Raiders did ambush the Broncos. I think the Broncos were like 5 wins in a row, top of the board. Everything was looking good for them. And then the Raiders just came into their home and just stomped them. So, they probably got a lot of confidence out of that. Broncos are on a 6-win streak. They did have the 54-10 win over the Eels. And they're coming fresh off the bye as well. So it's a lot of, we've got a big up here for the Raiders, a couple ups here for the Broncos. Raiders are coming off of that win over the Dogs. They got a bit of a wounded squad at the moment, even a couple of wounded people named in their team. Broncos, on the other hand, they have got Anil Reynolds is out. He's missing from the picture. That's a big out. But Corey Oates is back in, and he's going to be playing his 200th game as well. Raiders have won 4 of the last 5 games against the Broncos. That's quite alarming, really, isn't it? 4 out of 5. So they've got something over them, don't they? Jared Coker will also play his 150th game. So just these 2 stats alone, now I'm scared. I'm a little scared now. So this might be worth a punt. It could be worth a go, guys. If you took that bet, it's not a stupid bet. But however, I just feel the Broncos, they're just too good at the moment. Even without Adam Reynolds, this shouldn't be a problem for them. It would be nice if they paid a little bit more, but they will be the tip. They are part of our Super Saturday parlay. And yeah, oh man, but some of these stats are scary. Be cautiously, guys, but I think the Broncos should be fine. Next up, we've got the Eagles versus the Dogs. Eagles did win in round 1. Bulldogs have lost 4 of their last 5 meetings. So that's 4 out of 5 there for the Eagles. 1 bench change, basically the same. I don't know if poor Dogs. What a season the Dogs had. They should be, they're going to be a danger team next year though. We've got 1 out, 2 wins here for the Eagles. Also, both teams, Sea Eagles are leading the 40-20 kicks. Bulldogs are second with 4 40-20 kicks. So I don't know if they're 40-20 bet. I should have had a look for it. That might be worth a punt. Bulldogs seem to do pretty well against the Eagles at home. However, the Sea Eagles have won 8 of the last 9 games against the Bulldogs. All in all, I'd say the way the Eagles pushed the Warriors, and with the Dogs losing to the Raiders like they did, everything seems to be stacking here in favour of the Eagles. They will be the tip. They are my value bet for the week at $1.50. Head to head. I don't think we can go wrong with this one. Go the Eagles. Next up, we have the round of the game. Game of the round. Ha! Alright, Newcastle coming off their 22-10 win over the Rabbits. They're on a 7-game win streak. The Sharks, the 36 win over the Titans. Both teams coming in hot. It is 7th place versus 5th place. Game of the round. No bet on this one, obviously. This is going to be absolutely Legion versus Legion here. Ponga versus Hines. Newcastle are the favourites. Sharks paying $2.13. Just, should be an electric game. What a way to end the round. And I can't wait for this one. This is going to be awesome. Who we tipping? It's a 50-50 game. Oh, man. We want the Raiders to win because they need it. If the Raiders... who am I talking about? If Newcastle win, they will pass the Sharks in points. Oh, man, this one's impossible. But we're going to go with the Sharks here. We're going to tip the Sharks. I don't know why. There's no reason. Both teams are on fire. Both teams are looking good. I want Newcastle to win. Sharks are the underdog here, so, tipping Newcastle will just be the easy thing to do. So we're going to tip the Sharks. And, I just think it's a 50-50 game and anything can happen, and we're looking forward to it. No bet. That's it for the NRL. Let's round up round... What are we up to? Round 26? Alright, so we do have the Rabbits out on the bye. So first up we do have the Panthers. Panthers will be the tip. No bet on this one. Next up, Warriors will be the tip. We've got our bets here on the Dragons. 21-point head start. And then we've got the tip on the Cowboys here. With their head-to-head as part of our Friday night parlay. On Saturday, we're just back in the free favourites here. Storm, Roosters, Broncos. I should change that, eh? Let's change that. How do I get to it? There we go. Alright. We've got the Dragons and Cowboys here on the Friday. Saturday, we're just going with the free favourites. Storm, Roosters, Broncos. Line them up. Easy peasy. Sunday, we're just doing the Sea Eagles. That will be our value bet of the week. Too easy. We do have our safety parlay, Cowboys and the Roosters. Now, this does break my rule of putting, if the Roosters lose, that will break both parlays for us. It's not something I really like to do, but we did do it. Oh, play hard to bet. I went and had a look for you, buddy. You weren't there. I don't know. He's missing in action. I don't want to be the only gambler out here in the waters, man. You got to come back. Don't leave me out here by myself. That's not what we want, man. Other than that, that's our bets for the week. We do have a couple other bets that tie into the women's. But so let's go touch on that right now. Other than that, that's it for the NRL. Feeling very confident going into this week. Little dodgy on this Dragons one. Now I realised it was 250th game there for Johnson. Other than that, I think we should be all good. Broncos, might be a little sketchy there too. Maybe Storm Roosters, Cowboys might have been the better absolute safety parlays to go. But Broncos do add great value in there, and I do believe they get it done. Let's move along. Let's go back to the women's NRL. Women's NRL, we have the Eels, the much improved, better looking Eels coming in, going up against Emma Mazerman and the Cowgirls. Eels look good, but still lost to the Raiders. They haven't won yet, and I did say last week, if they don't win, surely enough is enough. If they don't win this round, they're going to win next round. I don't care who they're playing, they're going to win. Unfortunately, it's my girl Emma Mazerman that they're playing against, and they looked absolutely horrible against the Sharks. So there's big 2-ups there for the Eels. I was so happy to see that NRL Girl of the Round was Emma Mazerman. I feel she highly deserved that, although I always forget her name. Upton. The Newcastle's fullback. I thought she had a hell of a game. And the Broncos girl had a hell of a game too. Brigginshaw. So either one of those three girls could have got it. I'm glad it went to Emma Mazerman. I think the fact that the rest of her team looked so bad made her look even better. And that's probably why she got it. But highly deserved, because it's hard to go out there when you're the only one out there trying your best, going your hardest. Do you know what I mean? If you turn up for work and everyone else is slacking off, you tend to just slack off. But she didn't. She went hard and she proved her worth. And man, she's like, every week we fall in love with this girl more and more. She's absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, I feel the Eels just have to win. They've got to get a win. They've got it in here. It is good to see one of the girls got promoted, so she's now part of the main pack. But they also have a bunch of outs. So that's a couple of negatives there for the Eels. Although the Cowgirls have a couple of big outs. So that's some positives there for the Eels. All in all, we're going for the Eels. They are our tip. They are our bet. I think I put a bet. If I haven't, I'm going to go put a bet on them right now. I believe I put a bet on them. They'll be the pick. They'll be the tip. I'm sorry, Emma. Wish you all the best. Let's move on. Dragons sneaked one over the Tigers last week. Well, Titans got handed a 8.30 loss from the Roosters. Go Roosters. Dragons have won 3 out of 3 versus the Titans. No real changes to their team. Titans have 1 in, 1 out. Terry Began is this year's competition run meter with 1,011.30, blah, 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 whatever. But that's what happens when you don't pass the ball, sweetheart? My heart is obviously still with the Dragons because, we're falling in love with Hopkins now. But the tip, I can't do it. I'm gonna have to. I'm tipping the Dragons. I can't do it. I have to tip the Dragons. Titans should be the pick here, but yeah, I'm an idiot and I follow my heart too much. No bet though. I'm gonna force myself not to bet on these girls as much as I want to. That's the breakdown. That's the tip. It should be over here. It's not. It's over here. I tipped against them last week and they won. So I can't go against them twice in a row, can we? Even if we should. Next up, oh man, look at all the sweethearts in this game. Saturday game, we've got 3 girl games on the Saturday again. Can we have a girls game on the Thursday or the Friday, please? There's 6 games of NRL on a Saturday. It's just killing me. There goes my whole day. Roosters, Roosters destroyed the Titans last week. Well, the Tigers, they let their victory escape against the Dragons. Roosters, 94-20 over the last 3 games. They've really stepped it up. They're on fire. They have 1 out. Tigers have 1 in. It's not going to be enough, though. Roosters just looking like they're a real competition threat. And it looks like it's going to be Roosters, Newcastle Grand Final. And my money would be on the Roosters. For this one, my money is on the Roosters. Although at $1.16, they weren't worth betting on individually. So we actually put them in a parlay with the boys. So we've got the Roosters and the Roosters. That's our parlay. Sorry, Tikatugi, we love you. I love watching you play. I hope you bulldoze some people over. But we have to go with the Roosters on this one. Next up, we do have the Broncos. And going up against the Raiders. Now, the Broncos did really good last week. They pushed the Knights to the limit. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite hold on. They fell off in the last 2 minutes there. So hopefully they've been working on their cardio all week. Training hard. And, the Raiders had to work hard to dismiss the last place Eels. The winless Eels. Although, there's can't throw too much salt at them. The Eels played really hard. Did really good. Broncos have a bunch of ins. So that's all good news. They do have Ashley's out, Bike Girl. She took a bit of a head knock. She is out, which is a shame. She looked really good last week as well. Her and Brigginshaw really stood out. Mean game, girls. Mean games. And they also have another out. Raiders, I think, have the same team. They did name one chick who's unlikely she'll play. Whatever. Basically the same team. I was a bit surprised to see them up at $2.50 there. If you're a Raiders fan, I'll take that bet. They got every chance to win this game. However, I just do feel the Broncos do have a few more stars. Even though Ashley is out, they still got Broad in there. They still got Mealy. I've got to get better at drawing hearts. She's been making us some money. She saved us last week. I did say I'll give her a rest this week and not put the bet on her to get the try. She is still paying $1.80. I can't believe she's still paying that much to score a try. I just don't know if we'll go with it again this week. Maybe have a week off. But Broncos, again, we did parlay them with the boys. So we've got the Bronco girls and the Bronco boys. That's our parlay for the Broncos. Although at $1.48, that's pretty great value if you are just betting on the girls. I think that's it, eh? Let's move on. Last game of the week, we do have the Knights versus the Sharks. Cronulla hammered the Cowboys 40 points to 12. Whew, no mercy. And Knights just squeaked past the Broncos. We just talked about that. They do have their co-captain is back and one out. One in, one out. Sharks field in the same 17. Now, oh my god, I've got to learn this girl's name. If their fullback plays half as good as she did last week, this game's already over. Although, the Sharks, they had Jada. I mean, both of them just had girls who were on fire. They are, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, when it comes down to a 50-50 game like this, tip the favourite, bet on the underdog. Okay, that's, because I feel this is going to be a 50-50 game. Newcastle do have the biggest squad though, so they probably will get it done. That's probably why they are the favourite there. Just sheer size and experience. But the Sharks have been looking good. They look dangerous. I wouldn't bet against them. No bet on this game for me. And that's basically it. We'll go recap the girls real quickly. So in summary, our best bet was going to be the Roosters. They weren't paying enough. So where's my thing? So we parlayed the Roosters with the Roosters. Same with the Broncos. Broncos are the bet. That's a decent bet too, $1.48. But we did parlay them with the Bronco boys. So we've got Broncos, Roosters, and we will be putting a bet here on the Eels. For our dog of the week will be the Eels. And that's everything. We'll be following UFC Premium. We want picks, $10 a month. They've had 2 perfect weeks in a row for me. So we'll be going in. We're going in hard for them this week as well. Hopefully that will go on big on that safety parlay this week. And just hope we can get another 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5, how many bets it happens to be. All in all, gamble responsibly. Enjoy the games, guys. We don't know how much longer we got left. Having it as good as this. Like, how good is this? Right? And look forward to the Roosters, Rabbits, unless the Tigers throw a spanner in the works. Roosters, Rabbits grand final next week. Yeah, that's it for me. Peace out.